Meeting.
Dr. JP sir, please start.
Okay, so I welcome our today's resource person, Dr. Durga Shankar Bunkar, on board, and with permission of the organizers, I am going to start this session. At the very outset, I request our course director, Dr. S.K. Goyal, to please introduce Dr. Bunkar, and then request to him to start his presentation, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, good afternoon to all our beloved participants. Today's resource person, Dr. Durga Shankar Bunkar, Hamida ma'am, and all other persons who are directly or indirectly related to this program. It is my proud privilege. Today I am going to introduce very important persons of Department of Food Science and Technology. Participants, today we have with us Dr. Durga Shankar Bunkar, who is working as an assistant professor, stage 3 in the Department of Dairy Science and Food Technology. Actually, Dr. Bunkar did his BTech in Food Technology from Maharana Pratap University of Agriculture and Technology, Udaipur. After that, he joined MTech for completing his MTech from Slight, Longawal. After that, he joined this BHU during 2010, and I proudly say that he is my student in the PhD program. I supervised him, and he did his PhD on the millets. Actually, the world is thinking about millets today, and we have already thinking this millets about 7 years back. So, Mr. Dr. Bunkar has completed his PhD from this Banaras University only. He published more than 46 research papers and 2 books and more than 10 book chapters. He also organized 2 21 days programs under CAP, and he also organized 5 national and international seminar, conferences, symposia, workshop. His area of specialization is packaging, especially packaging of food materials and materials of packaging. He guided more than 30 MSc scholars in food science and technology. At present time, he is guiding 1 research scholar in food technology. He has awarded many renowned awards, but at present time I have only 1 or 2 that I can tell you. He awarded by Society for Bird Environment Food Technology, that is known as SWEP, from New Delhi, as a DC Memorial Best Teacher Award for the year of 2016. He has handled near about I think 5 projects like DST, DBT, ICR, and 1 IOE, means Institute of Eminence, that is given by the MHRD, Government of India. As a I index 10 and H index. His H index is 10 and another I index is 20 for his publications. Total citations of his publications is very huge. I can't going explain each and everything because time is very limited, and we means as a student, as a participants, we wish to listen him first. After that, we have a question hour session, 10 or 15 minutes as the time permit. So I welcome Dr. Durga Shankar Bunkarji for accepting our this invitation. Actually, he is also a joint or course director of this event. So I welcome you on behalf of BHU. You are also my colleague. On behalf of NADCL Jammu, this is a new organization for me as well as for you also. So please welcome and take over the dais as a speaker, and please give your talk. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I especially thanks to my senior colleague, Professor J.P. Rai sir, and my PhD advisor, Dr. S.K. Goel, for invite me at this forum and deliver for a lecture. Definitely, no doubt, I was a student of Dr. S.K. Goel, and entire period during the MSc, I learned many things from my supervisor. So, being a supervisor, Dr. S.K. Goel is a very intelligent and nice man, and moreover time, I can't forget their excellent advice in the different situations. So taking this honor, I thank to all organizing committee, and especially thanks to Madam Hamida. So not going to delay, I would like to start as our content, which is I going to deliver, that is the new trends in food packaging for shelf-life enhancement. So very initially, very good afternoon to all participants. As Dr. Durga Shankar Bunkar, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Dairy Science and Food Technology, Banaras Hindu University. Presently, my research and working area are on the food packaging, food engineering and technology. Actually, my depth discipline is the food engineering and technology, but research interest might be changes with the time. So now I'm focusing on the packaging, especially that is an important area. We can say for in terms of the enhancement of shelf life of any kind of the food product. So let us start with our content. As my title is the new trends in food packaging. So definitely it represents some kind of the content. We start with the introduction, what is the packaging, that how we can define the packaging, and what are the requirements for any kind of food product. As you know, we have the diversity of food groups. Basically, food is available in the different categories, like your grains, like in the fruit and vegetable, like milk, like meat and meat products. So there is a various categories. So definitely a packaging requirement depends on the food and their categories also. That is an important factor. And another one is the packaging material, that what type of packaging material we can use for their self-life enhancement. Then we go for the different kinds of techniques which we can use for the this purpose of the extension of self-life. These are the some kind of the technology, the modified, controlled, vacuum-edible, active. And finally, we sum up with our conclusion. So, not delaying, we start with our introduction as all participants, and I think everyone scientist, we know about the situation of India in the agricultural sector. We very much know that India is the second largest producer of the horticulture, which share about the 12% of the global fruit and vegetable production. If we see the last 3 to 4 year data, so we can sum up with the quantity, like in the year 18 to 19, 10, 19 to 20, and 20 to 21. And finally, we found the kind of the average value that fruit will starting with the 97.97 million ton. It represents all kind of the food production in the India, basically, and it growing after that. There's in the 1920s the 102, and we attain the 103.03 in the 20 and 21. These are the very recent type of data that we here up to 21. I think so. In the 21 to 22 and now in the 20 to 23, we definitely proceed, and might be possible that we can achieve the more production, and we can upgrade the status in the global fruit and vegetable production. So similarly, if we talk about the vegetable, so we increase up to 183 to 1.17 to in 2021 197.23 million tons. So this represent an average of 189.56 million ton in the terms of the vegetable production of India. So this is very much share of the, we see that the worldwide that we have a large number in the production of fruit and vegetable, and we achieved almost second condition. That means we are a large exporter also, and we have to minimize our losses, so we can achieve the more production value in terms of the export. So ultimately, I want to say that there is a kind of the losses. It ranges is a 20 to 30% of the horticultural produce. This is a very huge number in the fruit and vegetable, as we people know about that in terms of fruit and vegetable, these production all are seasonal, and their shelf life is very less. So if we increase their shelf life and we can minimize this kind of the losses, definitely is a great output to our global scenario in production of the fruit and vegetable, and definitely we can enhance our profit, which is starting with our farmers, because the farmer is the initial unit of the producing of the fruit and vegetable. And the title of this workshop is also focusing is how we can doubling the farmers' income. So if we go for this, then we can say that if we want to achieve this goal, that we have to focus our goal in terms of reduction of losses and enhance the shelf life. Definitely these factors will affect the farmer's income. We can say, I'm not much sure that definitely we can double, but I damn sure that we can achieve some more instead of less. So all about this, the packaging has a vital role in both the handling and preservation, approaching to maximize the shelf life. So if we are reducing the handling losses, that is our great factor, and there's some kind of preservation we can approach, then definitely we can maximize the shelf life, and the shelf life is an important factor. And packaging fresh fruit and vegetable is one more critical step in the long and complicated journey from grower to consumer. Definitely grower is a representation of our Indian farmer. So in the next, if we talk about the packaging, then we can say that there are the 1,500 different types of packages are used for produce in the all around world. There are the number of listed of the different packaging material. It would start with the some kind of the organic material like bags, basket, carrot, and some kind of the other wood we can use for the further, and it will go with the plastics, glass, metal. There are the number of the listed material that we can use for the packaging of fruit and vegetable. So here we are emphasizing the packaging only for the agricultural produce, that is related with the fruit and vegetable. And the number continues to increase. The industry introduces the new packaging material and concept. If like there are some example is the bags, carrots, okay, then the carton, the bulk bean, and pelletized container. The pelletized container basically is a more convenient container for handling, transporting, and marketing fresh produce. If we see this slide clearly, there are the notation of the wooden pellets basically is used, and the pellet beans definitely it is also used for the material for the transport to one place to the another. So if we talk about the trends in the recent year, so it was a wide range to packages size to accommodate the, definitely it will come up with the packages size to large to low volume exactly, and the diverse need to wholesaler, consumer, food service buyer, and processing operations. So basically this is define the needs of the different we can say the users, at the wholesaler at the different kind of need. Basically consumer have the uh, packaging need is different, and the food service buyers also their needs is different. Similarly is the processing operation. If we take example about the consumer, then consumer always buy in a low volume, like the 1 kg, 1.5 kg, half kg, 2 kg. So basically if we talk about the consumers, then we have to produce the packaging material as their required size. So this is a diversification. Basically, this is a diversification of the packaging need, and packaging and packaging material contribute a significant cost to agriculture produce industry. Definitely, the cost is a much important factor. If you are going to design a particular packaging material for the different products, then we have to go with the appropriate cost. Actually, cost is also enhance the product value. So if we talk about the Indian market, the price is also important factor. Sometimes people consider the low quality food instead of the higher price product. So that is a perception. We have to minimize with reducing the cost. Therefore, it is important that packers, shippers, buyers, and consumer have a very clear understanding. That means uh, kind of the clear understanding of the wide range packaging option should be available. So if we go for the some ultimate goal, that is to preserve, packaging is needed to protect, to inform. There is some kind of the label which provide information about the product to the customer or shop, and to transport. The packaging provide the easily transportation. So ultimately, we can define the packaging as means or a system by which fresh produce or processed product will reach the production center to ultimate consumer in safe and sound condition at an affordable price. So it the sum up with the uh, price also. Definitely, price is a factor. So we have to consider exactly. And packaging, if we are going as a definition that define as the art and science that involve preparing the article for transport, storage, display, and use. So these are the kind of the steps that we have to sum up in the this technical term is the packaging. And then come the next packaging requirement. If we go for the requirement, then the different types of packaging depend on the physical, anatomical, and physiology, which is mainly depend in the transpiration, respiration, and ethylene production rate. These are the some factor that if we go for the horticultural produce, then is a physiology and anatomical factor as we have to consider that different fruit and vegetable found in the different sizes and shapes. So we have to basically design the particular packages for the particular one. And then why it is required the natural and susceptibility to microbial decay. That is an important parameter. That means packaging requirement to strengthen this, that if we are going to microbial delay, then we need the kind of the packaging requirement, or we have to design a packaging material that it minimize the microbial load. And or very other factor like your temperature is the most important factor. RH also, and the ventilation also play important role in determining the post-harvest life of the fresh produce. As we know, our production is of fruit and vegetable needed a ventilation, proper ventilation. That is most important, and we have to maintain the kind of the gases, or we can say air should be there exactly, so we can enhance there are some shelf life of particular products. So if we go for the packaging requirement for the fresh produce, then we can summarize is the first one is the protection against bruising and the physical injury. That is a main important. That is perception also, that we is come up with the our human society. If we found any injured fruit and vegetable product, then definitely we're going to discard that. We should avoid, or it might be possible that it can be contaminated, so we avoid exactly. So packaging provided protection, and protection from the microbial contamination and deterioration definitely is the most important, that how we can remove the microbial contamination and deterioration. It's the ultimate and excellent role by the packaging. And provide ventilation for respiration and exchange of gases. That is an important factor. If we go for packaging material designed to fresh produce, that is our fruit and vegetable, then we have to maintain some kind of the respiration and exchange of gases. Very important or suitable technique that is most common you are using in the field of the food preservation, that is a MAP. Modified atmospheric packaging is the best example of this one. We discuss in the next slides definitely. And another is the protect against moisture and wet loss. Yeah, that is important, that wet loss is a common parameter in this type of fruit and vegetable. So we have to maintain. There are the several techniques or the several parameters we can use for to control the moisture losses. Then the slow down the respiration rate is important. By slowing down the respiration rate, we can delay in ripening and increase the storage life exactly. And another we can summarize the control ethylene concentration in the package. That is an important factor, that ethylene always produced in the fresh produce, and how we can control in, and if it is we can't control during the storage, then it will be accelerate the ripening process, and there are some several metabolism can be occur, which may reason for the deterioration. So by considering these factors, that they are going for a packaging material, that kind of a packaging material, if we categorize, then we can a broad categorization. It depend on the first one is the consumer retail packs, and then for second is the transport or the bulk packs. So if we go for the consumer, I earlier told that they are to be small in size and designed to hold is the half dozen, 1 dozen, half kg, 1 kg, 2 kg of fruit and vegetables. So these are the very much concern about the consumer packs. And many types of packaging in terms of forms and materials are used as the consumer packs. Basically, we can use there are the kind of the LDP material that is like the low density polyethylene is the most suitable material for as a consumer packets. And the pack depend on the marketing characteristic of the product. That is an important factor that we have to consider the marketing characteristic that we can easily transport to one place to another. And if the consumer are using, then consumer also preferably that the some kind of the suitable material should be there, which can avoid the contamination and deterioration, and they can carry easy. Exactly. So if we go for the different classification, then the flexible plastic film is a type of a packaging material, and different types of the flexible plastic film like LDP is the polyethylene, PVC, polyvinyl chloride, PP. These are the some kind of the material, and cellulose acetate film used for the packaging of the horticulture produce. You can see that this type of basically use in the fresh produce. And if you see in the slide that there is a vegetable in PP pouch, that polypropylene pouch with the ventilation holes, that means provide a exchange of gases. Basically, that it is much necessary for the extend to shelf life. And these are the some kind of the another packaging like the stretch wrap polyethylene sealing film, most common film used for as a packaging material, and also is the type of the LDP. Then another is the tray with the overwrap. This is also most common. We can see this type of material is mostly available exactly in the market. The type of material is the PVC, PP, and EPS is the expanded polystyrene normally used. And these are the some plastic punnet. Is the most common use for the strawberry or type of the some berries. Or this is the most suitable material. And if we go for their shelf life, we can extend up to some kind of change without changes in their nutritional or their composition. And this is basically made from the LDP and LLDPE or PVC. LLDP is the linear low density polyethylene is the another kind of the substitute, or we can say the LDP. These several times we have seen this type of packaging material in the market, that is the plastic net bags for the extruded and the woven. We regularly see these, and another is the net bag pack for the tomato, like also very common in the market. Exactly. And if we go for the listing in this sequence, there are the some another EP foam sleeve net machine with simple. Basically, this is the most common, like in the Apple, where it provide a cushioning effect and protect the fresh produce against abrasion and scratches during transit. Also, scratches and abrasion is the main reason of the fresh produce. Might be possible that there is some kind of contamination and deterioration may be occur. Then is the another is a lightweight plastic crates is generally used for the quantity should be large, or we can say the high amount of fresh produce. We use this kind of the plate. And for the small packaging is we use the shrink wrap. Also, this is the we go for the is individual. And this is have a most important factor, that is transpiration rate can be reduced to 5 to 20 times. The exactly transpiration, if we go for this, it's type of the sweating like in the humans. So transpiration occurs in the fruit and vegetable also. So these, if we talk about the packaging material is very common for the fruit and vegetable, then we can say it's a LDPE, and LLDPE is the most common, and this LLDPE is the linear low density polyethylene. So there is a little bit difference with the LDPE is used in film and packaging due to its flexibility and toughness, and their high density is a typical translucent and the high flexible than LDP. So this is we can say it's contains some characteristic of the LDP and some kind of the HDP. And due to the its higher crystallinity, it has the better chemical resistance, stiffness, and strength than LDP. Is a good packaging material generally used for the fresh produce is the fruit and vegetable. And there's some kind of the corrugated boxes or curtains may be used like different uh, fruits. Is many fruits like mangoes, apple, grapes, etc. are packed in the small pack of 2 to 3 kgs, either in corrugated boxes made of paperboard or the polymer like polypropylene. So the most suitable, or we can say it's a comfortable. So then if we go for the transport pack, then we have to design in the large capacity. Then for long distance, it ranges from 4 to 5 or to 20 to 25 kg bags. We can see in the slide that is kind of some carrots and some kind of the jute bags basically we can use. So another the listing material is for the kind of the packaging material that kind of the rigid container, the made of the wood, corrugated fiber board, or the plastic and flexible container, such as the sacks made of plastics. So we can go for the stacking also the plastic crates. And some traditional use like is a jute sacks, the wooden boxes, and the bamboo basket. The bamboo basket is the most common or available in the domestic market also. So it's the most beneficial, and we can say it's um, definitely affect the price of the packaging material. And these are the kind of the wooden boxes or the bamboo basket. So generally, this is most commonly used where the abundantly food may be available in like there are the different kinds of region in the in our country is like your Kashmir. This is the most commonly popular as a container for transport the fresh produce. And these the corrugated fiber board and plastic boxes is also used for that. There are some factors that enhance their some strength comparatively to the other wooden and the paper fireboard boxes. So what are if we go for the listing, the low cost, the plastic boxes is the low content, the low cost and the strength, and the weight ratio is high comparatively to others. The good cushioning properties, the smooth and non-abrasive surfaces, and they are the good printability. So that's where we can provide the information about their harvesting date, about their varieties, about their transportation date. So this is the more accessible and easy to set up and collapsible for storage. The reusability and recyclable can be manufactured in high volume and can be provided with the ventilation by punching hole. So it's a kind of the plastic crate, and if the performance of the plastic crate basically is a much good because we can use by this material is as a low cost packaging material also, and we can use by some kind of the protectants like your UV lights or reducing the microbial load. So these are some kind of the example. The different size, shape are available, and it easy to clean and disinfected. So sake, if we are using the kind of the sake, so there's a cotton, jute, plastic, as we earlier discussed, we use. If we take the note about the new trends, then we can say there's some traditional packaging material might be modified, and the new material technologies in terms of the rigidity, stackability, longer storage, ventilation, cushioning have been developed for transport packaging of the fresh produce. That is, these are the important, and the kind of example is the JRP. So jute reinforced plastic is the uh, most favorable, or we can say the most recommended. So jute fiber and wood are combined with the thermoplastic material like LDP, HDP for making semi-rigid as well as the rigid wood. So that is a kind of the nutrient in this one, and some kind of the jute bag is also we use for the transportation of this transportation of for the fresh produce. So these are the listing the packaging material. Normally we use this one, and then we go for the several techniques that we can, how we can enhance the shelf life. The one of them is the map. I earlier some little bit discussed that it's a, if we go for the definition, that is an enclosure of food in a package in which the atmosphere inside the package is modified. So ultimately, that we are changing the atmospheric concentration of gases or altered to provide an optimum atmosphere for increasing shelf life and maintaining food quality. As we much aware in the atmospheric gases composition, that we have to the higher ratio of the nitrogen than oxygen, and then the other gases. Out of them, CO2 is contained a preservative effect for the fresh produce, and oxygen is must for the respiration. So we can't deny. Absolutely, we can minimize, but we can't zero it exactly. It have, if we go for the 0% oxygen, then it will create a negative effect in the packaging. So if we go for the principle, then we can say the map is used to delay deterioration of food that are not sterile and whose enzymic system may still be operative. So ultimately, there is a most common and suitable technique that where we are not using the temperature exactly, and so our fresh produce contain the more nutrients as well as in the initial stage. And MAP is always used in association with the chill temperature. After pack of the fresh produce, we can store in the low temperature. That definitely is effective short-term preservation method, or it has a effect of retarding the following, like your growth of microorganism, and the post-harvest metabolic activity of intact plant tissue, deteriorative chemical reaction like including enzyme, catalyze, oxidative bonding. It's all over. These can be controlled during, or we can say we can minimize these rate of these reaction, and we can also control the moisture loss in this. So if we go for the map, then we can use the kind of the gases, the carbon dioxide on oxygen, nitrogen, and these are the carbon monoxide, noble gases, and the gas basically mixture. I earlier told the kind of the composition, and we can say the noble or inert gases like argon sometimes also used, and some reported uh, literature is found for the fresh produce. So there is a some contradictory effect of the oxygen that in case of the meat and meat product. So that's is a little bit we have to higher oxygen content in case of the meat, because it's create a compound with the meat pigment is the myoglobin, and produce a oxymyoglobin which contain the bright red color, so it enhance the appearance basically in meat. So if you go for the map of meat, then we always use more than the atmospheric gases composition of oxygen. So if we create of the map condition, then there are the two technique. One is the passive and another is the active. If we go for the passive, then we can say the atmospheric high in CO2 and low in O2 passively evolves within a sealed package. So over time, a result of the respiration of the product, and the passive modification is commonly used for map of fresh respiring fruit and vegetable, or in case of the active, that is a two-stage method involve first removing the air inside the package using a vacuum, then followed by flushing with the desired gas mixer. So both techniques we use, but there are the instrument generally used for the map may be differ according to passive or active mode. So if we go for the equipment for the map, then is the form filled the seal machine. That is an example of this, and then another one is the chamber. In the chamber machine, basically we initially create the vacuum, and then we go for the flushing the desired gas, like the active type of active. Simply, then packaging of map application, there is some important is during the map is the permeability is an important factor. So permeation always occur. Permeation occur during the storage in every kind of the packaging material. We can't deny even in the metal and glass also. Yeah, we can say that there is some kind of the minimize or negligible amount might be possible through the surroundings, but the permeation always occur exactly. So in the packaging material like the polymers, it may be higher. It depends basically the what type of permeation may be occur, and how much our packaging material have a strength about the barrier properties. So if we go for the control this, we can use some kind of this parameter like temperature, as the RH is relative humidity, and the material thickness, and we can say as a multi-layer packaging material we can use to minimize the permeation during the storage. So if we see the example of this kind of the fresh cut fruit in map, we use the fresh cut fruit, basically there's some kind of the commercial map of banana as a fresh cut lettuce in map, use of map or fresh cut produce. So there are the several example, and how the mechanism between the food package inside the and with the surroundings. So the gas exchange of the occur during this. This is in this scene we can easily observe that the difference in pressure maybe create the permeation, which is related with the material thickness also, which use as the food packages. So another kind of the banana is we can use, sometimes we use for the individual bags for the individual fruit. That is the more recommended. If the fruit is costly, then we can say this type of packaging we can use. Okay, like your commercial map of the broccoli, these are the example, and we use the type of the polymer or material we use, and we fill the gases and containing the corrugated boxes. And like your example is the map of cherries, kiwis, also used for this. There are the several listing products, the apples, the mangoes, and the individual sealed packaging of the oranges. Now, if you go for the pellets of mango fruit covered with the PEP, is the polyethylene, the mango papers.
I am extremely sorry to intervene here, Doctor. We have limited time, so we have some time for question answers also. So
sir, I'm going to finish initially.
Yes,
in very short period,
please.
I will conclude it.
Please.
Sir.
Please.
So if we take a note about the effect that how the effect of inhibition of the ripening in mango fruit, there is an example of the Tommy Atkins. So these are the three sample in, we can see in this slide the map, then map plus ETFs is the ethylene absorber, and the another third one is the control. And we can see the difference that the control is totally matured, and in the map is the it's control, sorry, it's a totally ripened, and in the map is a it's still mature fruit. And ethylene absorber is used for their absorb the ethylene gases during the storage period. There's another example of we can observe the quality of pomegranate fruit, and this is you can see is an excellent effect. And so if we go for the modified packaging advantage and disadvantage, these we can list it by using this. Another one is the cap, is similarly technique with the map, but there is a difference here. We have to control in the map. We can't control the gases, but here we can control the atmospheric conditions. So that's why we say is a controlled atmospheric packaging. And these are the some parameters for the different commodities, the listing for the individual fruit, and the temperature range, and what are the concentration. There is the results reported by some scientists, and the listing of the same. And then is vacuum packaging is a very much known for us. That is a barrier against corrosion, oxidation, moisture, drying out. And the most common practices is the paneer is another example for packaging. Edible is the most important, that sometimes we use a edible film or coating for the package of the fresh fruit. And the biodegradable, also a new concept, that three forms. Relevant form is the one is the film, then another one is the coating, and another is the bags. There are some example as a lolliware is the type of the container, and the nature mold is basically used for the fresh produce. Then active packaging is another new trends of the packaging, and they are the method of active packaging. We can use the oxygen scavengers, carbon dioxide, ethylene scavengers, flavor and odor, and antioxidant, humidity, antimicrobial packaging. The recent new term is the smart. There is some kind of difference. Is the active and intelligent, that in the active, the use of the light filtering material, the oxygen and ethylene absorber like we use. And in intelligent, we use sensor also. That sensor provide information on their tightness, storage time, temperature, and the other freshness also. So this is the basic difference on this packaging material. These are another example of the ethylene scavenger and the oxygen observer. These are some principle which is taken place during the active packaging, and these are the application like use the oxygen scavenging, oxygen permeation, how we can enhance the barrier properties also. So this is the principle related with the these concept, that there is application which is reported by some results of the various research studies. The term is intelligent packaging. Also, we discussed the kind of devices normally used. Like here in this picture, you can see this is a red type of particular component is placed here in the packaging. So normally use the intelligent packaging within the food industry. These are some kind of parameters. There is important is the TTIs. TTI is the time temperature indicator. So this is the most common important factor which we can observe the microbial decay during their storage study. So these are some kind of the indicators, the barcode, RFID, and the sensors also. The indicators we use for the study the shelf life. We can say the indicators. These are the three types of the one is the critical, then another one is the partial, and third one is the full history indicator. And how it shows about the product. Here we can observe that the product is found in the this color pink, and it is converted in finally the blue. So this is shows their combination, that how the quality of the food product is occurred during the storage. Similarly, some kind of example of intelligent packaging is the color temperature sensitive changes color, their outer cover of the packaging material, and then how we can maintain the freshness and ripening index, or these all are the part of the intelligent packaging. The barcode normally used for provide the information, and basically barcode is made up of the 12 digit, which the first to indicate the country and which the barcode was created, and the following 4 digit identify who manufactured. And this is the provide a little information that about the how we can process the product exactly. Another technique is the RFID identification device. This is the most common device normally using our industries nowadays, that we it provide the information about their safety and their quality. Is a time there is simplest mechanism that is a type of a RFID reader, which connected with the antenna, and it transports the information from the systems. So this is the RFID tag normally used for this one, and then the different kind of the sensors also use as an indicator to maintain the quality. There's a schematic diagram that how the sensors basically work. That is the analyte sample matrix, and this it's related with the detector. Then detector produce the information for the transducer, and transducer is related with our output system, which provide from the information, the data acquisition and the processing. Another is some kind of the gases also use for the this maintain the quality of the or and enhance the shelf life of fresh fruit and vegetable. And this are the some kind of the symbols which we can several times observe the on packaging material, that if we see in the type of PET bottle, that symbol is the 1, 2, 3, and this is the which type of polymer is contained, and which product the particular it can be used. So, or whether it is recyclable or not. So these are the some kind of the information that we have to aware about this. This kind of material is for this. As we know, the packaging is a primary concern for the reducing the deterioration and microbial load in the food product. So these are the they're understanding the 7 plastic codes will make it easier to choose plastic and to know which plastic to recycle. Finally, in the conclusion, the packaging fresh fruit and vegetable is one of the most important steps in the long and complicated journey from grower to consumer. Then we can say how it is required for to maintain the quality of the fresh produce. And there are the different kind of the parameter, the packaging material, and basically if we go for design a packaging material, then we have to consider all the factor, and we sum up with a best result that we can design a suitable packaging material for a particular food product. Terms of conclusion is what is the important benefit is your product quality and safety. And definitely active and intelligent packaging will increase the shelf life and is the most important factor with food safety. So thank you for your attention. I welcome any queries related with this the concept of packaging, food packaging for shelf life enhancement. I welcome any queries. Please let me know.
Many thanks, Dr. Bunkar. We didn't receive any queries in the chat box. I request the organizers to please unmute everyone so that they can ask the question live to the resource person.
Sir, there is a query in chat box.
Yeah, it came right now. Dr. Bunkar, there is a query. Jitendra Kumar has asked that which type of packaging is suitable for dragon fruits. That I think is very apt question.
Yeah, that's good. Dragon fruit, as we know, sir, that is a containing the high price. Exactly, it's ranges of the 500 to 600. So, what I recommend that if we are going to packaging of the dragon fruit, we should go for the individual packing exactly. So if we go for the individual packing, then we have the several kind of the option. That is a vacuum is the one. Another one is the map. Absolutely. So we can use the with gas or without gas exactly. And the shrink wrapping is also a best option. Basically, what I am saying that it should related with the shelf life. That how much shelf life we require exactly. If we want to extend up to 1 month, then I suggest we should go for the map exactly. Or if we want to short shelf life that 5 to 7 days or up to 8 to 10 days, then we go for the low temperature with the shrink wrapping or the vacuum also. Both are suitable exactly for the dragon fruit. Sir.
Thank you, Doctor. Mr. Krishna Mohan Kumar Srivastava has raised his hand. Please ask your question if you can unmute yourself. Mr. Krishna Mohan Kumar Srivastava, he has raised his hand. Perhaps he might have been having some query. The operators are requested to please unmute everyone for the discussion session. Mr. Srivastava, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Participants,
Yes,
you can
sir.
ask question directly now.
Yes, sir. My question
Okay.
is, sir, my question is, there is bulk of garbage or wastage of the packed items. That is, the packaging materials are thrown. So how we can manage those wastage packaging materials? Hello.
Krishna ji, may I audible? Your voice is not very much clear.
Just a second, please, everyone, please mute yourself except the speaker, Mr. Revant Lokavaraju. Revant Lokavarapu, please mute yourself. Thank you. Now, Krishna Mohan ji, you can ask your question again.
Sir, my question is that due to packaging system, there is a lot of wastage of the packed materials on the roadside or on the streets. So packaging industry producing garbages, so many